Namaskaram. It is my distinct honor to welcome to you to the Swayam MOOC online Telugu language learning series. I am Batula Venkateshwarlu, your instructor. In learning Telugu grammar, teaching past tense sentences, especially general or common examples, forms as a crucial foundation for understanding how completed actions are expressed. These sentences are constructed from verbal roots known as dhatuvulu, which represents the most basic uninflected forms of verbs, conveying the core meaning of actions without specifying tense, person or number. The past tense means verbal base plus past tense suffix plus personal suffix. The same personal suffixes are used in the affirmative forms of the existential verb. A, im is the past tense suffix used with verbal basis. By systematically presenting general past tense sentences, selected verbal roots and reflective verbs, learners gain a clear and structured introduction to the ways to Telugu encodes both simple completed accents and self-referential accents. This approach enables learners to communicate a wider range of personal and reflective meaning in everyday situations. See the related vocabulary: chaduvu, informal command, which means study or read; vandu, which means cook; ammu, sail; nammu, believe; utuku, wash; piluchu, to call or to invite; naduchu, to walk or to conduct; kalchu, to burn or to roast or to fire; vachu, a finite verb form, which means may or can come; pelchu, to cause to burst. On the basis of previously introduced lexical items, we can now contrast a coherent and well-organized account of Telugu verb usage by examining their functional and grammatical properties. The selected verbs such as ra, po, chaduvu, vandu, utuku, ammu, nammu, undu, piluchu, naduchu, kalchu and pelchu represent a range of voice verbal roots that denote everyday actions, cognitive processes and states of being. These forms primarily functions as a base verbs and informal imperatives, which can be systematically expanded into various tense and aspectual forms as well as polite variants like randi, tinandi, reflecting the sociolinguistic distinctions inherent in Telugu. Thus, by organizing these lexical items into functional categories and analyzing their structural behavior, a comprehensive and systematic understanding of Telugu verb morphology and usage can be achieved. Based on the previous introduced vocabulary, we will now proceed to a discussion section featuring a conversation between two friends, Rama and Uma. Uma, నువ్వు ఏం చదివావు? Which means, Uma, what did you read? Uma saying, నేను కథ చదివాను. Which means, I read the story. Rama asking the question, Uma, మీ అత్త ఏం వండింది? Which means that, Uma, what did your aunt cook? మా అత్త బిర్యానీ వండింది. My aunt cooked a biryani. ఉమా, మీ అన్న ఏం చదివాడు? ఉమా, వాట్ డిడ్ యువర్ బ్రదర్ స్టడీ? మా అన్న మెడిసిన్ చదివాడు. విచ్ ఇస్ టు సే, మై బ్రదర్ స్టడీడ్ మెడిసిన్. మీ నాన్న ఏం అమ్మాడు? వాట్ డిడ్ యువర్ ఫాదర్ సేల్? మా నాన్న ఇల్లు అమ్మాడు. మై ఫాదర్ సోల్డ్ ద హౌస్. ఉమా, మీరు వాళ్ళ మాటలు నమ్మారా? ఉమా, డిడ్ యూ బిలీవ్ దేర్ వర్డ్స్? అవును, మేం వాళ్ళ మాటలు నమ్మాం. ఎస్, వీ బిలీవ్డ్ దేర్ వర్డ్స్. వాళ్ళు మిమ్మల్ని పెళ్ళికి పిలిచారా? విచ్ ఇస్ టు సే, డిడ్ దే ఇన్వైట్ యూ టు ద వెడ్డింగ్? అవును, వాళ్ళు మమ్మల్ని పెళ్ళికి పిలిచారు. ఎస్, దే ఇన్వైటెడ్ టు us ద వెడ్డింగ్. ఉమా, మీ అన్నయ్య పెళ్ళికి ఎంతమంది వచ్చారు? ఉమా, హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ కేమ్ టు యువర్ బ్రదర్స్ వెడ్డింగ్? మా అన్నయ్య పెళ్ళికి చాలామంది వచ్చారు. విచ్ ఇస్ టు సే మెనీ పీపుల్ కేమ్ టు మై బ్రదర్స్ వెడ్డింగ్. నీ కొడుకు పెళ్ళిలో టపాసులు కాల్చారా? డిడ్ యూ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ క్రాకర్స్ ఎట్ యువర్ సన్స్ వెడ్డింగ్? అవును, నా కొడుకు పెళ్ళిలో టపాసులు కాల్చారు. ఎస్, ద ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ క్రాకర్స్ ఎట్ మై సన్స్ వెడ్డింగ్. ఉమా, నీ కూతురు పెళ్ళి ఊరేగింపులో బాంబులు పేల్చారా? విచ్ ఇస్ టు సే ఉమా, డిడ్ యూ ఎక్స్ప్లోడ్ బాంబ్స్ ఎట్ యువర్ డాటర్స్ వెడ్డింగ్ ప్రొసెషన్? అవును, నా కూతురు ఊరేగింపులో బాంబులు పేల్చారు. ఎస్, దే బ్రస్ట్ ఫైర్ వర్క్స్ డ్యూరింగ్ మై డాటర్స్ వెడ్డింగ్ ప్రొసెషన్. Having examined the illustrated dialogues, we shall now systematically analyze the grammatical principles that govern them. Past tense formation. The main focus of the dialogue is the simple past tense. Telugu past tense is formed by adding tense morphology to the verbal root and then attaching person, number, gender agreement suffixes. In the dialogue, this appears in the forms such as చదివాను, which means I read, చదివావు, you read, చదివాడు, he read, వండింది, she cooked. నమ్మారు ఆర్ నమ్మాం, they believed, we believed. పిలిచారు, they invited. వచ్చారు, they came. The system is grammatically significant because the verb itself indefinite the subject without requiring an explicit pronoun every time. Telugu is therefore pro-drop language in which subjects may be omitted when recoverable from context. Next one is interrogative in the dialogue. The dialogue contains many questions which are essential for communication and language teaching. Telugu words include aim, what, ఎవరు, who, ఎక్కడ, where, ఎప్పుడు, when, ఎంతమంది, how many people. These forms are used to ask for specific section of information. For example, నువ్వు ఏం చదివావు? What did you read? మీ అత్త ఏం వండింది? Which is to say, what did your aunt cook? In discourse terms, these questions seek one missing element while the rest of the clause remains structurally intact. This makes them highly effective for teaching clause structure and semantic rules. Third one is polar questions and the marker ah. The dialogue also uses yes, no questions, which are formed by adding ah to the finite verb. Examples include చదివావా, did you read or have you read? నమ్మారా, did you believe? పిలిచారా, did you call? Next one, కాల్చారా, did you burn it? పేల్చారా, did you explode it? This marker changes in the clause into a polar interrogative. The expected answer is usually అవును or కాదు. Such forms are highly productive in Telugu and are valuable for teaching sentence modality. They help learners distinguish between information questions and confirmation questions. Case marking and grammatical relations. Telugu uses case marking to show grammatical relations clearly. Your dialogue includes several important case markers. See the accusative case marker nu. The suffix nu marks definite direct objects. Kathanu, the story. Biryanini, the biryani. Illunu or illu ammadu. Contextually, house was sailed. Kukkanu to the dog. Pettenu to the box. This marker identifies the object or patent of the verb. It is the especially important with definite or animate nouns. Locative case marker lo. The suffix lo marks location in space or time. Like కాలేజీలో in the college, పెళ్ళిలో in the marriage, ఊరేగింపులో during the procession. This marker shows where or when an event occurred. The dative case marker key. The suffix key expresses goal, purpose or direction. పెళ్ళికి to the wedding or for the wedding. This case is important and event related context and is very common in everyday Telugu. Word order and emphasis. In Telugu, the basic word order is subject, object, verb. However, Telugu also allows flexible word order. Speakers may change the order of the sentence elements to give emphasis, to mark a topic, or to organize information according to the context of the conversation. See the example. మా అన్నయ్య పెళ్ళికి చాలామంది వచ్చారు. It means many people came to my elder brother wedding. In this sentence, మా అన్నయ్య పెళ్ళికి appears at the beginning. This part establishes the topic of the sentence. That is, what the speaker is talking about. Once the topic is introduced, the rest of the sentence provides new information, namely, చాలా మంది వచ్చారు, which means many people are came. Thus, the first element of the sentence is not placed there randomly. It appears in the initial position because it is already known in the discourse or because the speaker wants to draw attention to it. This process is often called topicalization. Therefore, word order in Telugu is not determined only by grammatical structure. It is also reflect pragmatic factors such as topic, emphasis, and information flow in discourse. Reflexive benefictive constructions. One of the most valuable pedagogical section in your dialogue is the set of reflexive or benefictive forms based on konu. Examples: వండుకొన్నారు, cooked. కొనుక్కొన్నాడు, he brought for himself. These forms shows that the action is done for the subject's own benefit, use or enjoyment. These are not passive constructions. They are better understood as middle or reflexive benefictive forms. This is an important point to explain in class because learners often confuse them with ordinary transitive verbs. Pronoun, respect and social meaning. The dialogue is also rich in pronominal distinctions. Telugu pronouns encode not only person and number but also social relations. See the personal pronouns. Nenu, which means I, నువ్వు, you, మీరు, you, respectful and plural, మనం, we, inclusive, మేం, we, exclusive, వాళ్ళు, they. See the possessive forms. నా, which means my, మా, which means our, నీ, which means your, intimate, me, which means your, respectful or plural. These distinctions are socially important. See the examples. మీ అత్త, మా అత్త and నీ కూతురు. Different degree of respect or intimacy. This is a major feature of Telugu sociolinguistics and should be highlighted in any academic explanation. Next one is honorific agreement. Telugu often uses third person plural verbal forms as honorific forms for singular references. Thus, a plural verbal ending may refer to a respected individual rather than multiple people. Shall we see the example? వచ్చారు, పిలిచారు, కాల్చారు, పేల్చారు. These forms may refer to plural subjects or to single person in respectful register. This is an important aspect of Telugu grammar because it shows that agreement is not purely numerical, it is also carries social meaning. Discourse pattern of the conversation. This dialogue is structured through a repeated questions answer pattern. This creates urgency pairs, which are the key concept of discourse analysis. Each question set of a response and each response confirms, rejects or expand the information requested. This structure helps learners because it provides predictable class patterns, semantic clarity and repeated exposure to grammatical forms in context. Cultural context is the dialogue is strongly rooted in everyday Telugu social life. Words such as pelli, which means wedding, tapasulu, crackers, make the lesson culturally concrete. The wedding context gives learners a familiar social setting in which grammar becomes more memorable. This cultural grounding is pedagogically effective because students learn grammar through realistic situations rather than the artificial examples. Linguistic significance is, from a descriptive perspective, the dialogue illustrates several important properties of Telugu. Agglutinative morphology, rich verbal agreement, prop drop syntax, case marking, flexible word order, reflexive benefictive constructions, honorific and social deixis, and also discourse sensitive sentence organization. This makes the dialogue a compact model of Telugu grammar in use. Pedagogical conclusion. For teaching purpose, this lesson is especially effective because it combines vocabulary, morphology, syntax, semantics and pragmatics in one structured unit. Learners can observe how Telugu expresses completed accents, asks questions, marks argument and encodes social relationships. In an academic presentation, you may conclude by saying, this dialogue is not only a grammatical exercise but also a discourse-based representation of Telugu as a living communicative system. It demonstrates that Telugu past tense constructions are best understood through their interaction with case marking, interrogatives, agreement and social context. Now I am going to explain the first negative forms. The first negative form suffix is le. Here the personal suffix forms are going to add to this first negative suffix, such as du, do, ru, The related examples are with le, adi or idi, that and this, ame and ime, she or this lady, mem or manam, we exclusive and also we, levaledu, which means did not get up. Totally, these subjects like that and this and she and we did not get up. See the one more example. Atadu, itadu, vadu, veedu, levaledu, which means did not get up. And also, ayana, iyana, varu, veeru, vallu, veellu, levaledu, which means they did not get up. Here I am just adding the more imperative verb forms for your understanding. Ra, raledu, example is atadu raledu, he did not came. Raledu is a first negative form. It expresses that the action of coming did not happen. Te, teledu, example is atadu pustakam teledu, he did not bring the book. And also తీసుకురా, తెచ్చు, and also common forms for bring. Po, పోలేదు, example is అతడు పాఠశాలకు పోలేదు, he did not go to the school. కా, అవ్వలేదు, example is అది నిజం అవ్వలేదు, it did not become true. Next one is చదవలేదు. Example is అతడు పుస్తకం చదవలేదు. He did not read the book. Grammar note is చదవలేదు is a past negative form. It indicates that the action of reading or studying did not take place. చదవలేడు, he cannot study. అతడు ఇప్పుడు చదవలేడు, he cannot study now. Observation note, చదవలేడు expresses inability or impossibility. It means the action is not possible for him. వండలేదు means did not cook. Example is ఆమె ఈరోజు వండలేదు. She didn't cook today. Analytical note is వండలేదు is a past negative form. It indicates that the action of cooking did not take place. Similarly, the other forms also serve the same function. అమ్మలేదు did not sell. We have to read and understand the past tense forms. We reached the summary. This dialogue is a discourse-based lesson in Telugu grammar because it presents language through natural interaction rather than isolated rules. It shows how Telugu expresses completed action using past tense verbal forms that carry person, number and gender agreement within the verb itself. The lesson also highlights the Telugu interrogative system, including questions such as ఏం, ఎవరు, ఎక్కడ, ఎప్పుడు and ఎంతమంది, as well as yes no questions formed with the suffix a. These questions patterns help learners understand how information is sought and how responses are structured in conversation. Another important feature is the case marking system. The dialogue illustrates the accusative marker nu, the allocative case marker lo, and the dative case marker ki, all of which help show grammatical relations and event context. Telugu word order is generally SOV, but the dialogue also shows that the word order can shift for emphasis or topicality. This lesson further demonstrates reflexive benefictive constructions such as వండుకొన్నారు and కొనుక్కున్నాడు, which shows that the action is done for the subject's own benefit. It is also shows that Telugu pronouns and verb forms reflect social meaning through honorific and intimate distinctions. Finally, the dialogue has strong pedagogical value because it combines grammar, meaning, discourse and culture is one integrated lesson. It is especially useful for teaching Telugu past tense, interrogatives, pronouns and reflexive verbs in a communicative and academically sound way. Dear learners, please maintain consistency in your practice for the best results. Happy teaching and happy learning to you too. Thank you.